Hey! Raindrop, rock top, smoking up in the hot bar, fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.
What's going on YouTube? Tyler Secrist here. Thank you so much for tuning into the Weekly Tea. Today's video, I'm gonna explain to you how to buy a house.
Welcome to the Weekly Tea. Look, I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm cool with that.
All right, welcome back, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this week. For those who are new to the channel who don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Secrist. I'm a real estate agent with one of the largest franchises in the country, Century 21. I work out of the #1 office in the world, Century 21 Bradley, to be specific. I'm licensed here in Indiana, as well as South Carolina. I own a private real estate firm called SMG, or formerly known as Secrist Marketing Group, where we buy, sell, build, create. You can head over to our website probably here and check us out there. But anyways, let's hop in today's video topic. I wanted to keep it simple, go back to the roots, and just put out a refreshing piece of content on just how to buy a house. I've done a video explaining this in the past. It was like one of our very first videos we've done. I don't know if we can like maybe show it over here, but we thought, hey, you know, we're a little bit better at this, so let's take a second crack at it. And I just want to put out a useful piece of information that, you know, people can use. So we're going to talk about the process. I'm going to give you my little tidbits. I'm not going to label this thing, you know, 12 steps how to buy a house. We're just we'll label them as we go on. Step one, and you're going to hear this through a lot of my videos. It's kind of step one for a lot of things. Get with your trusted real estate advisor or your trusted professional. And that could be, you know, it could be different people in different scenarios. I like to go directly to the agent. You may have a better relationship with a loan officer or maybe a home builder. The key thing is trust, and the key thing is experience and volume. Get with someone who lives and breathes this, who handles, you know, 50 plus transactions a year at minimum, and has been doing that for a while. Someone who's been through some shit and who has accomplished, you know, some things in life in this field. You're gonna, I understand, you know, you may have a lot of friends who are in the business, or you've got an Aunt Sally who, you know, tries to do it on the side, and I'm all for trying to support, you know, your community or support, you know, your inner circle, but there comes a point, especially when it's one of your largest assets or one of the biggest financial moves you'll make in your entire life, you've got to put it in the hands of a true professional, not some friend who just got her license that you used to work with. Anyways, step one, get with your high-profile real estate professional. The next step, fully decide if you're ready to buy. And this is a conversation that kind of goes into getting with your real estate professional. If you've got interest in buying a house, it could be for many reasons. It could be, you know, an investment. It could be you're ready to put down roots. Get with your trusted professional, talk with them, share with them, you know, what you're trying to do. And then what you will do at that point is you should be setting up some type of consultation or some type of dialogue between you, your agent, and your loan officer, and you guys will start to look at, you know, your situation, you know, contextually. I'm big on education, so I definitely think you should take that time to get educated, and the only way to get educated is to get around people who know what they're doing. So they can show you the entire process, they can show you what's available to you, and then they can put you in the driver's seat so you can decide, because at the end of the day, the only person who knows what's best for you is gonna be you. And for you to make a high level decision, you've got to just be put in that, you know, position. So figure out, you know, if buying a home is in the cards. See if it's a sound move financially and it's right for you. And if you're not, you know, you can at least come up with a game plan, you know, to put you into home ownership, you know, within 6 to, you know, 18 months. I advise my clients in my sphere of influence, if you're thinking about buying, selling, or building within anywhere between 6 to 18, 24 months, within that window, that's kind of the time frame you should be reaching out and having these conversations, because based on what you're trying to do, there could be some things to navigate or some things to get, you know, lined up to make that happen. The next formal step would be to formally get pre-approved for whatever it is you're trying to do, whether you're trying to buy a house or you're trying to build a home. At this time, you will have already gotten educated. You'll have saved up all of the cash that you need to do what you're trying to do, and you'll formally submit your financials to a loan officer to get pre-approved for a mortgage. Once you formally get pre-approved, that's what's going to allow you to start house hunting and to get with your agent to start looking at properties and actually getting into homes to look at. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they put off everything that I just said and they just start looking at houses, and they'll send a link to an agent, say, hey, I want to look at this tomorrow. And sorry, but it just doesn't work like that. No tire kickers here. You need to have your ducks in a row. We mean business on this side, and there's no point in wasting the seller's time or your agent's time because you're not in a position to buy something. So pre-approvals last for a pretty extensive time frame. So always get pre-approved before you start your search, because that perfect house or that perfect property seems to always get listed at the most random time. And if you're put in a position to where you're prepared, the moment you get that opportunity in front of you, you'll likely succeed. If that house gets listed, at a bad time when you don't have your ducks in a row, you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt because you just didn't do the legwork on the front end. So I can't stress getting prepared, getting educated on the front end. That way you're in the driver's seat. So after you're approved, after you start looking at real estate and you find the house that you want to put an offer on, the next step is to formally submit your offer. You'll instruct your real estate agent, hey, I want to put an offer on this property. Your agent will ask you some information on the best way to package your offer and what to do to try to get your offer accepted. You'll draft it up, you'll review it, you'll sign it, we'll send it off. And in the event it gets accepted, that's what will take you guys into escrow. Once you land a house and you're under contract and you're in escrow, there's a few chain of events that occur on the front end. The first thing is your earnest money deposit. You will submit that within, it could be a day, 2 days, 3 days. I like to do within 2 to 3 business days after the offer gets accepted. First and foremost, you've got to get that earnest money deposit submitted. And if you don't know what earnest money deposit is, I'll put the video explaining what that is down in the description, and you guys can go back and you guys can, watch that. But after the earnest cash gets deposited, we've got to order your house inspection. That's a big one. I would not waive that if you don't have to. Even if it's a new house, even if you don't think you have any problems, even if you want to waive it to get your offer accepted, I still recommend spending that, $300 to $500 to get the house inspected. So you're just aware of, maybe some little things that get overlooked, or it can kind of create a honey-do list, or if there is something, structurally or cosmetic that was undisclosed, gets brought to light, we can do something about it, whether that's to concede or get the seller to concede, or we can get repaired or get help in repairing, or get you out of the deal because it just doesn't make financial sense any further, based on those findings. So that's earnest cash. You order the house inspection, and then your agent will send your offer over to your loan officer so they can start preparing your file on the financing side. After we get to the inspection period, your appraisal will occur shortly after. That's ordered by your lender, and typically it could take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for an appraiser to get out there, do his field work, turn in his report. After we get through the appraisal, the loan officer will then take your file and submit it to underwriting for final mortgage approval. After you get cleared to close, as we say in the business, we get to schedule your closing. After your closing is scheduled, it's very customary to do a final walkthrough through the property before you sign docs and you close on it, just to make sure the property is in, the current or better condition from when you initially bought it. Sometimes there are repairs that occur that we've negotiated through the inspection period, and it's kind of another checking point just to make sure all that work got done before we, sign all your docs. And after the final walkthrough, we arrive at closing at the title office, or if you're in an attorney state, at the attorney office. and you sign all your docs and you get the keys to your house. Sometimes you get the keys, at closing. Sometimes there's been some pre-negotiated possession time. It's very customary to need a week or two to move after closing. So sometimes you don't get access to your house. It could take a week, 2 weeks. Sometimes you've got to give 30 days to a seller because maybe they're selling something and buying something. But yeah, that sums up how to buy a house in the most simplest form. If you guys have made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching. If you guys like this type of content, please let me know in the comment section. It helps with the algorithm, just push my videos to a broader audience. We're just doing this to, help people and make things as simple, as they should be. So thank you again. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.